Feet about hip width to shoulder width, so somewhere in between, and then just quickly glance down at your feet and check that your big toes are connected. There is a sense of a connection, an energetic connection, and a line that runs between the two big toes. And then from there, we're going to shift the weight a little backwards, maybe lifting the toes off the ground, and then slowly shifting forwards as your heels lift. They may lift a little bit, or they may lift a little bit more. So it's up to you. So here, if I lift up, I open the front of the ankle, my front of the leg starts to engage, and then as I shift back and lift the toes, see if you can notice how the arches of your feet start to lift as well. And the inner legs start to engage. And then let's try it one more time, just slowly, softly rolling the weight to the front, lifting through the heels, and then all the way back, the toes lifted, the instep lifted, and then when I drop my toes, see if you can feel that lift through the inner legs. And then next time you exhale, just allow the knees to bend. So now we can play a little bit with the bend of the legs. How much? Often is the question. So it's just a little bit. It's like just a spring in the knee. So let's play with this idea a little bit. So bend the legs and then push the feet into the ground to straighten the legs. And again, exhale and bend. So although you're bending the knees, the other two joints in the legs will of course take part. So the ankles and the hips, there becomes a bend and a crease there too. And then push the feet into the ground to come up. And let's try one last time. Exhale and bend the legs, bend the legs. Okay. So now as you straighten this down by pushing the feet into the ground, leave that little crease in the knee. So there is a sense of softness in the knee joint. So now coming up to the next juncture point, that's the hips. So we're going to look at the tailbone. Now, tailbone, just the end of the spine here. You might use your hands to find it. And then see if you can hang it down, drop it down. It's quite a subtle movement. It's not as big as tucking is under. It's really just inviting the lower back to gently release down. You can take your hands onto your sacrum, that bone. That is just the beginning of the spine, and just gently invite it to release down. Now, when the sacrum drops, the hips here tend to lift a little bit, and then we start to create a little bit more room in the belly for the breath. So let's see what's happening here. One hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And perhaps at this point, close the eyes. If that feels comfortable, and only. So if you prefer to keep your eyes open, that's all fine. I am assuming that you are in your own environment that feels safe and peaceful, so it feels okay to close the eyes, but just see what feels comfortable to you. So now we're going to start feeling, sensing the breath as it touches the palms. And see if you can feel there is a little sense of expansion on the inhalation. So your belly and then the chest gently connect with your palms as you inhale. And then as you exhale, there is a feeling of release and contraction. The front of the body moves a little bit back towards the spine. See if you can sense that too. So the breath is relaxed, it's natural, which often means different things to different people. So just to maybe elaborate a little bit on this, I would like you to see if you can feel your lower hand, the hand resting on the belly, engaging with the breath. So as you inhale, can you feel your belly expanding towards the hand? And as you exhale, can you feel the belly gently moving away from the hand? Now, if you cannot quite feel that, you can, on the exhalation, contract the abdominals, contract, pull the muscles in towards the spine and away from the hand. And as you inhale, just relax. And as you relax, you will notice the abdomen will push forwards, will move forwards. So this is just like to kickstart that process. Once we get going, we would like the breath just to flow easily, naturally. It's really just relaxing into the rhythm, remembering the rhythm of the breath that we were born with, which was the whole body. The whole body was breathing, and definitely the belly was breathing. So now, after this little exploration, we're going to invite the arms to just relax by the side of the shoulders. And then next time you find yourself inhaling, lift the shoulders up, lift them up, and then exhale through the mouth. Okay, once again, inhale, lift. And let's try one more time. Inhale, lift the shoulders to the ears. And then exhale. So you might remember, those of you who were on the call last week, we did a lot of movement here, moving from the shoulder blades and eventually from the fascia. I want to go over this movement towards the end of the class while we're sitting. So it's really a wonderful way to release the upper body, thoracic spine, especially when we spend a fair amount of time every day sitting. That's a great, driving. It's a great little practice, kind of little chi break any time of the day. But for now, see if you can sense your arms being really long. It's almost like your fingertips are caressing your toes, touching the floor, really long arms. And then let's adjust one more juncture point here, and that's the chin. See if you can very slowly drop it a little bit downwards. As you do that, notice how the back of the neck opens and simultaneously draw the crown of the head up to the sky. Now the feeling here is as if someone was just pulling your head gently up, gently up. So here we are. So now, the question we can ask ourselves here is this: now, how can I stand here and be as relaxed as possible? And the answer will be different for every one of us. But there are some common points of tension that we humans like to hold in our bodies. So let's just travel through the body and notice where, if anywhere, now I'm holding tension. So notice the thighs. Notice as you bend the legs a little bit more and push the feet into the floor to straighten. Notice if you can sense how those bulky thigh muscles, quadriceps, can relax a little bit. Now, as you do this simultaneously, what's happening to the glutes, the buttocks? They also like to tense. And then to wrap this everything back to front is the pelvic floor. So from the pubic bone all the way down to your tailbone. So that band of muscles there at the bottom. So notice what's happening there. All right, and then let's travel to the upper body. The trapezius, that big muscle around the shoulder blades, can this release and relax down just as your arms are resting. There is a sense of heaviness in the arms. Now, we want to balance that heaviness with lightness, and lightness comes with our connection up to the sky. So see if you can feel the crown of the head drawing up just as your tail releases down. So the spine starts to move in two directions simultaneously, one down to the ground and the other one up to the sky. Down to the ground, the gravity draws us down, and then our intention through reaching up with the crown of the head lifts us up. So now let's feel the feet. The feet are a connection to the earth, So you might want to again just briefly slide forwards and backwards, just sensing that connection. The whole of the feet is on the ground now, minus the arch, which will be lifting more or less, depending on your feet. And then see if you can sense how through the soles of the feet you're connecting to the ground. Now, even though you may be standing on the 5th floor, 10th floor, doesn't matter. It's like you are growing roots, dropping the roots through the soles of the feet. And again, now, is there anything, that's the question that you want to be asking yourself, is there anything that I can change in my own body to be more at ease? So again, you might want to close the eyes as you explore this question. So what we're doing here, we're aligning with the gravity, that's earth energy. And as I close my eyes and I do this process, I tend to, my body wants to sway a little bit. It's a very small movement, just like forwards or backwards or maybe side to side. So just notice if the same happens when you close your eyes. Checking with the breath, what's happening there. Invite the shoulder blades to spread away from the spine and move away from the spine. The left moving to the left, the right moving to the right. Now, when I invite my shoulder blades to move this way, my arms tend to move slightly away from the body. Just notice, is this your case too? It's almost like now there is a little gap here between the arm, in the armpit, between my arm and the side ribs. The palms tend to rotate just a little bit backwards maybe. Again, just notice what's happening when you do that in your own body. So now we have the feet connecting to the ground. Now what will happen if we connected the palms to the ground? So we're going to flow the arms just very easy, just like a few inches, few centimeters away from the body, palms facing downwards. And just as your feet are connecting, you are now connecting to the gravity through your palms. So now we're going to just push the hands just a little bit down and a little bit up, just a few centimeters, inches up and down, just a few times. Very slowly, very relaxed. Just notice now what you feel, Now start to sense the space in front of your body. The space is alive. It's alive, it's full of information. The main thing we can feel as we move the hands through this space, it's a quality of density. So see if you can push it down. Notice the little resistance there, and then just pull up. So now to get a little better connection, what we're going to do now, we're going to invite the energy to move into our palms, and we can feel it through the palms more than any other part of the body. So let's start by shaking the hands in this way. So we're going to bring the palms to face up, and we're going to give it a shake. Now you're shaking just the wrists. So the wrists are relaxed, the face is relaxed. You might invite the face to smile as you do that. Keep breathing. Shake and then relax and relax. Feel into your palms. You might notice some warmth, maybe some tingling in the palms. This is a good sign. And then we do another method. Now crossing the wrists like this. The palms are still facing up, and we're going to tap. So tapping on the wrists. One is the lower arm is the inner wrist, and the top arm is the outer wrist. Both palms face upwards. Tap a few times and then relax, and then we change. Still palms facing up. Just the other palm is on the front. Change. Good. Okay. So, and relax the palms again and feel into the palms. They might feel maybe a little bit more alive, a little bit more sensation in the arms. So let's build it up a little bit more. So this time, you're going to fold the fingers into your palm, and you're going to rub the nails. Quite fast, between palms, and relax. Okay, now feel into the palms again, and then final adjustment we're going to do is this. Now the palm of your hand your middle finger is going to fold easily into the palm. And roughly, wherever it lands, you're going to take the other thumb and give it a massage. It's a sort of a middle of the palm. Middle of the palm. That point might feel a little tender. So do it for just a few minutes on one side, and then exactly the same on the other palm. Fold the fingers, and where the middle of the finger, the middle finger rather, lands, you're going to take the other hand's thumb and give it a massage. Give it a massage. Just around, sort of circular motion, one way, the other way. Good. Okay, so here we are. And then just flow the arms. Flow the arms exactly the same way, just a few centimeters, inches away from the body, palms facing down. And then see if you can feel a little bit more perhaps. Now again, we're looking for that connection to the ground. The palms connecting to the ground. And okay. And again, invite a little smile on your face, coming to a place where the body can be as relaxed as possible. Again, looking for ease. So in some ways, this is all that there is to Qigong. There is nothing more to it. And if we can draw the energy in this way, that's we're done. But for most of us, that's not so easy. So now we need to find a way to move with the body so we can tune into that life force and pick it up and invite it to move through us. So let's start by shaking. Shaking. Now, shaking, a great way to release tension. A fantastic practice to do because we can do it most places and throughout the day. So if you've been especially sitting still for a period of time, or maybe had a difficult conversation with someone, it's a good way to shift this energy out of our body. So what also help here is the breath. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So next time you exhale, so inhale through your nose, exhale. Keep going, inhale. Everything is moving from your feet, from the knees. So my arms and my head are not moving separately. They're just kind of picking up the rhythm from the lower body, from the legs. Good. And then just still keep shaking the legs up and down, and then we're going to engage the arms separately just to release the tension from the upper body a little bit more. So just shake down a few times and then shake behind a few times, shake to the side. Especially checking, watching that the wrists are moving, and shake forwards and shake up. We're going to travel through all those points again. So forwards, to the side, down, behind, and down again. And relax. Just relax. The arms might feel a little floaty, palms tingling or warm. Okay. Great. So as I said at the beginning, we're going to do some cooling flows today. So we have worked up to now a lot on the immunity, a lot of clearing that channel in the body, which is called central meridian, that connects from the earth through the human body all the way up to the sky, and working on three main energy center that we talked a little bit about. It's one in our belly, which is to do with our vitality, one in our heart, which is to do with our emotional balance, and one in our head, which is to do with the inspiration and intuition. So as the energy moves through the bodies, it nourishes a variety of centers, and we talk about the heart a little bit at the beginning. And the heart, the element that connects to the heart is fire. So when the fire burns too strong, we need water to cool it down. So let's start with this lovely flow here, which is going to go like this. We're going to start with bringing the back of the hands close together. The hands are not touching each other, and they're not touching the body either. And we're going to bend the elbows sideways to easily draw the arms to the collarbones. And here, it's just the elbows are moving for the arms to float sideways, just like this. Very easy. And here we start again. Back of the hands together. Inhale your breath up to the collarbones, and then just revolve, rotate the arms, palms face forwards to release. So let's just get used to that movement a few times, and then we just go a little deeper into it. So inhale to lift, and then exhale to flow down. So this is like water moving up the spine and then floating down to cool the body. So this is the flow for the kidneys, which works to counterbalance, to cool the energy of the heart. So now, when the back of the hands come together, the weight shifts a little bit towards the toes. And now the weight shifts back to the heels. So now my hips are coming forwards, and now my hips are going back. So from the side, hips come forwards, hips go back. The weight towards the toes, the weight towards the heels. The knees remain soft. So now the movement starts to get familiar. So see if you can do that movement with as little effort as possible. So it's like just riding on the wave of the breath, and the chi and the breath move together in and then out. In and relax. And then relax into this flow. We're gonna move like this just for a few more cycles so you can get familiar with it. Lifting up through that central channel that we were working with, and then exhale to release. Inhale, lift to the collarbones, palms face forwards as you relax. Use the breath, the shoulders remain down, the upper body is relaxed. Great. So I trust you're all doing really well with this. So we're going to add an element. So here, pause just at the level of the collarbones, and you're going to push away, and then you're going to create a huge ball or huge rainbow around the body. And we're going to come back to collect now the smaller ball, energy ball at the bottom, and then we're going to let go and release. And then the movement starts again. Inhale here. Exhale away. Your shoulder blades move away from the back. Inhale up and over the head, like a huge circle around the body. Come back to a small ball here between the hands. Exhale and let go. So now inhale to the collarbones. Exhale. And then use the breath again Collect your energy ball and then let go and release. All right, so from the side, inhale, hips come forwards. Exhale, hips go back. Inhale and then open up. Collect your energy ball between the hands, let go to the earth, and the movement starts again. Inhale, let's try this a few times. Exhale, open up. With ease, come back to the center and then release and let go. Draw the back of the hands to the collarbones, gently push away. As your shoulder blades are moving away from the spine, inhale the arms up and over the head. So you can imagine yourself standing in the huge energy ball inside of it. Then it compresses in between the hands and then you release whatever is not needed to the earth. And then draw through the length of the legs to the top of the collarbones. Exhale to release. Inhale over the head and then back to the energy ball. Let's just hold it for a minute, just a few centimeters, inches away from your belly. And we're going to just pulse the hands together and a little bit apart. So now the wrists are really fluid here. There is a sort of a fluid, it's like a fish moving in the water. And as you bring the hands closer, see if you can feel there is a little resistance. And as you stretch and push apart, there is a little resistance there as well. So your palms are open and relaxed. And the mind is open and relaxed. It's just like a child's play. There's nothing to it. And sometimes what helps to get that feeling is if you imagine you are standing in water. You know, we're warm, beautiful, cool lake. This is a great image for this kind of weather that we're having here in the UK. And your hands are just wading in the water. And then you feel the resistance as you move the hands forwards towards one another and away from one another. Okay, great. So let's flow the arms a little higher. So we had them at the level of the belly. We're going to move them up to the level of the, between the lower ribs and the top ribs. Somewhere that feels comfortable for the arms. Step the feet just a little bit wider this time. So maybe a shoulder and a half width apart. Knees a little soft. And we're going to build that movement slowly again. This is called moon over water. Moon over water. And you'll see in a minute why. So the first movement is, as I shift my weight to my right leg, shift the weight and then the arms are going to glide across as if on the surface of the water, and then I glide the other way. So the position of the hands, the movement of the hands is just from left to right as I shift the weight. Shift the weight one way, shift the weight the other way. So shift the weight, there's a little turn in my waist, and the arms move. Shift the weight, turn in the waist, the arms move. So this is half of the movement. So next time we all to the right side, to your right side, we're going to go up towards the moon. So the palms still face down and just glide up and over to the other side. And then come back to the right. Lift up and over towards the moon. And glide to the right. Up. And to the side. The weight shifts between the legs. There's this very easy and relaxed shift. So next time you're here, let's switch direction. So let's go to the left, gliding your palms Your hands on the surface of the water and lifting up to the moon. Now as you move, just notice how this movement up here activates the waist, the side ribs, the armpit and the hip. There is a lovely stretch and extension happening between the hip and the shoulder. Making sure it feels easy and relaxed. And last time. Great. So now inhale the arms and bring them closer together. Now the hands are a little higher at the level of the heart. The movement is still the same, we're just pulsing, expanding and releasing, expanding and softening. It's like being in the water, and really the body is about 80% water, so we're trying to find that quality of flow through the body. We all know that when we get older, the bodies dry up a little bit. And the juiciness is what makes us youthful. So if you think of a child, a small child or baby, there is a lot of juicy qualities to humans at their age. So Qigong brings that quality in our bodies, that fluidity, juiciness. And then pause. Again, just hold your hands here, just in front of your hand. Allow the heart, allow the elbows to go a little bit to the side. It's like holding slightly bigger ball in front of your heart. And let's drop the right hand, your right hand. The left hand is still facing the heart. So now, bend the knees and start by shifting the weight to the side. We're going to shift the weight to the side of the arm that is up. And turn the waist, and this will move your arms. Move your arms to the side. And then switch the arms. So now your right hand is up to the heart, left hand is down. This may feel a little complicated to start with, but I promise you in a while it will become very easy. Keep the hand steady, shift the weight to the right, and turn the waist. Now the arms will travel with you. And then change. So one hand is up, one hand is down, one hand faces the heart, the other one faces the body, but it's a sort of more fluid hand. And again, shift the weight, turn the waist to move the arms. So here we are on the other side, change the arms. So now there is a flow, but we're breaking up that movement into 3 parts. First one, shift the weight. So this leg becomes full, this becomes empty. Then turn, as I turn, my arms come with, and then change the position of the arms. The one that was up goes down, the one that was down travels up. Shift the weight, turn, the arms come with, change the arms. Shift the weight, turn, change the arms. Shift the weight, turn, change the arms. Shift the weight, turn the body to the side, the arms change. Shift, turn, arms. Shift, turn, arms. Great. Give everything a shake. We're going to come back to bring it together. So shake the arms, shake the legs. So this is a lovely heart flow called cloudy hands. So let's start with the right hand up, the lower hand down. And we're going to now flow with this movement. So we're going to bring those 3 elements, shift, turn, change arms together. So right hand up towards the heart. Left hand, this hand is the cooling hand. This hand is just like weeds in the water. So the fingers are open, relaxed. You want to feel the quality of water here. So now keep the knees slightly soft. Drop your tailbone down, reach the crown of the head up so we can really benefit from the spine elongating. I'm going to add one more thing that most of you will be familiar. Tip of a tongue on the upper palate, just behind the top teeth, very gently touching. Very gentle connection with the upper palate. Right arm up, left hand down towards the belly. So keep the knees soft, and we're going to shift the weight, turn and change arms. Shift the weight, turn and change arms as one continuous movement. Shift, turn and change. Shift, turn and change. Shift, turn and change. Shift, turn and change. The arms are relaxed, super relaxed, especially that lower arm that is just cooling the emotions of the heart. The upper arm is connecting to the heart. So shift, turn, change. Shift, turn and change. All right, trust you're going well. If this feels a little confusing, too much for the brain to connect together and moving quite fast, just relax into it. Doesn't really matter as long as you're enjoying this, and the quality is here, the quality of cooling with the lower hand and the connection to the heart. And we're going to add one more element, and this is the sound. So now inhale, going to the right, and as you go to the left, H-A-A-A. So inhale one way and the other way. Inhale. Inhale as you exhale. And the last time, coming to the center. And we want to bring the hands to face up. The elbows a little bit in the stance. And take a moment just to connect to the quality of the sun here, as that's the element that enlivens the heart. So now some of you love the heat, some of you love it less. So if you are the person that doesn't love the heat so much, you want to connect to that sun at the sunrise, that cool golden light that it's coming through your palms, pouring into your arms and into your heart. And then enlivening, opening, expanding the heart center. Now, if you love the heat, you might want to take the sun a little hotter, but don't go too hot. You don't want it to burn. So especially as we've done this lovely cooling flows in the body. The elbows are a little bit in, the shoulders are relaxed. It's just like you're holding a golden urn that it's filling up with the sun energy, and that sun energy is permeating, moving into the heart center, ray by ray, into the fingertips, into the palms, into the wrists, into the shoulders, and all the way flowing all the way down into the heart center. And then exhale and release, and inhale the arms up and over the head. And let's finish off this moving part of this session with this lovely cooling flow here. Very simple. It's just pulling the energy of the sky. Excellent for the whole day. It's excellent for before going to bed to calm the mind. And as you move the arms, you might want to imagine a violet light moving through the body, as the hands travel in front of the body, palms facing down. Again, the arms move effortlessly on the breath. Then lift up, very little muscular effort. The palms turn downwards, maybe a little bit towards the body as you travel down on the exhalation. Let's try a couple more times. Inhale. And to invite that lighter energy of the sky to move, to permeate a little bit more. See if you can move the hips side to side, so that to invite the energy, encourage it to move into the body. So the hips are just moving side to side. Then inhale the arms up, palms face down, and then as the palms start traveling down, slowly down on the exhale, just move side to side, rotating to invite for that flow to be more complete, so that the energy never moves in a straight line, always in a circular fashion. And we know it from nature. Whenever we look, everything is circular, you know, seashells, the leaves, so the tree trunks. So expand, open up, and release. And this time, as the hands travel towards the belly, we're going to rest them on the belly, one palm on top of the other. I like to hook my thumbs like this. There are various ways to do this. And just again, coming back to where we started, just briefly checking in those points we went through the beginning of the class. Feet relaxed, connecting to the ground, knees, the little crease in the knees. Tailbone dropping down towards the heels. Belly relaxed. Shoulder blades moving away from the spine. Shoulders dropping away from the ears. Chin tucked a little bit in. Crown of the head lifted, and then the cherry on top of the cake is the tip of your tongue to complete that circuit of energy moving through the body from the back, through the front, and circulating. Rested on the upper palate, just behind the teeth, very, very lightly, very light touch. Relax the face. And again, you might want to invite the lips just gently curl upwards into a gentle smile. And then exhale, release the arms. Release the arms. Open the eyes. And let's grab a chair or sofa or a floor if you're comfortable sitting on the floor. And then first, I want to check if there are any questions with regards to what we've done so far. And if there are not, we're going to do just a little breath, but start with the upper body movement. So, well, most of you know how that works. If you want to speak, you need to unmute yourself because you're all muted. And if you want to come on video, obviously it's lovely to see your beautiful faces. Feel free to do that. But if there are no questions so far, let's work at this area a little bit. So, you know, this is very this is one of those juncture points in the body that is very prone to tension. We all know it. We all know it. For some people it's here, for some people it's belly, for some people it's lower back, so various places for different people. But if you are that kind of person that collects the tension in this body, this movement is very helpful and generally for the health of the back, and especially if we're spending a big portion of our day here or driving. So there is a lot of stagnation in this area. So now I want to go very quickly over the movement that we did. So really, first we just lifted the shoulders. So you can just try that, how that feels. We know this movement pretty well. We just lift and then we just go, we just drop that. So this is from here, but what we want to activate is the shoulder blade. So that's that plate here. This is your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades. So sometimes we say this is where your wings clip. where your wings clip, your angel wings. So now see if you can lift your shoulders from the shoulder blades. So it feels a little different, a little deeper, and then exhale and release. Great. Now, how about do it as a rotation? So the movement is up, forwards, down, and back from the shoulder blades. So this part of the body, your shoulders are moving, but they're passive. It comes deeper in the body. And try this movement in reverse. So now the shoulders are forwards. We're going to go up, back, down from the shoulder blades, from the shoulder blades. So this whole area of the chest, heart, is passive. Is passive. And then as you move, you might already start to feel some warmth. Now, if this is the area, relax for a moment, it's sensitive for you, or you've got some injuries, you don't want to overdo it. So again, 80% of capacity, let's say maybe 5 to 6 repetitions, and then you pause, see how you feel. So now, we've gone through shoulder blades. What we really want to move is the fascia. We want to move the connective tissue. So that's everything inside your body, all the spaces, this connective tissue, in between the organs, wrapping around the nerve endings, around the bones. So now, see if you can sense your back. Close the eyes, maybe better up to you, or keep your eyes open. And as you do that, see if you can use your shoulder blades as a hook to grab some fascia and lift it and roll it forwards and then downwards. So the movement is still the same, but comes from a different place, and it feels like it can go lower than the shoulder blades. So now as you inhale, lift the back up and then roll it down, and then just keep going. And then if you were to see yourself now, I mean, why not try doing it in front of the mirror? You might be surprised the range of movement that is possible, especially if your upper body is tight. So now you're lifting up and over and coming from the front of the body. Now, how far up can you feel it? Maybe to the ears. Maybe to the ears, but as you keep going, can you feel this lifting all the way to the crown of the head? Because everything is connected inside. And then the other thing you want to be paying attention to now, do I have any tension there? Is there any areas that feel a little tight, stiff, congested? And just very gently stay there. Don't push, just be present. And then reverse. So now the arms are forwards, but from the shoulder blades, lift up, lift back and down. So now we're reversing the movements, rolling over the front to the back. Again, how far at the front can you get to your throat? How far at the back can you get to the base of the shoulder blades, base of the ribs? How far back? Keep going, just a little bit more. Excellent, good. And then just relax. Feel a little warmth, maybe a little bit more space. Okay, let's do a couple more movements, and then we just finish with a little breathing in this area. So now take the arms to the side like this. If you're sitting on the chair, have a little gap between the back of your body and the chair so that you can feel the movement freely. So let's start with the right arm, this arm, your right arm. And then you're going to push the arm away to move your shoulder blade away from the spine. And then release it, bend the arm, and then let's go the other way. Now, you're moving your shoulder blades now horizontally away from the spine. Come back. Shoulder blade away from the spine. We're trying to peel the shoulder blades, and then as a result, create some space there in the fascia around the area. Shoulder blades away from the spine. So as one moves away, one comes towards, maybe you can feel it. So the arm extends. So now here to make sure my fingers are pointing up, and release. Move the shoulder blades away. Move the shoulder blades away, and then just exhale. Release the arms, and then lift them again. This time the palms face upwards. All right. So now we're going to rotate the arms. I'm going to move a little bit to the side so you can see on one arm clearly. The other arm is doing exactly the same thing. So palms face up, and I'm going, the elbows are a little bent, and the elbow point is dropping down to the ground, and I'm going to start rotating through my thumb. So my thumb is coming upwards, forwards, downwards, and don't forget backwards, backwards. But that wave is moving my shoulder blades and the fascia on my back. And then I start the rotation the other direction. So now the back of my shoulder blade, so both arms are doing the same. Both arms are doing the same. I'm just, it's easy for me as I'm sitting just to show you one arm. So now tops of the shoulder blades come to the front. And now it's the bottom part of the shoulder blades that is coming forward. Top of the shoulder blade and the bottom of the shoulder blades. From the shoulder blades and the fascia. Rotate and rotate and rotate. Excellent. And then release. Okay, fantastic. Ooh. So let's just enjoy that warmth. Enjoy that warmth in the shoulder blades area, upper back, thoracic spine. That warmth might permeate and move towards the front of the body, hopefully into that heart space that we've been working with. See if you can feel this whole area relaxed. And again, that quality of water. So if there is tension in the body and we will let go of it, it starts to feel like fluid. So see if you can connect to that fluid quality. Let's bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Come back to our breath. Belly expanding as you inhale and releasing as you exhale. So see if you can feel the breath like a wave from the belly, moving through the ribs and then all the way up to that top hand. And as you exhale from the top hand to the lower hand. So inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly, releases. Inhale. Picking up the right rhythm that works for you might be different to mine. That upper hand rested onto the lower hand, so let's just focus on the belly. It's really very important for most people is to find the breath in the belly so that we can engage the diaphragm. Shoulders relaxed, crown of the head lifted, lots of space in the upper body. Now let's briefly move the hands to the side. So you're going to have your thumbs pointing back, fingers pointing forwards, and then see if you can start to feel the breath in this circular fashion. So the hands are on the floating ribs, but it feels like it pushes your shoulders up, come lower. So whatever feels comfortable, that you can pause for a few cycles of breath. So again, now as you exhale, see if you can squeeze the hands a little bit towards the center, towards one another. And as you inhale, expand. Well, the breath will expand you. So there is nothing for you to do, just to observe and enjoy the breath. And enjoy the breath. Good. And then finally just rest the hands. And for the last few cycles of breath, see if you can feel your back lungs. The lungs that are in touch with your shoulder blades breathing. So what it means is your breath is moving your shoulder blades. Now, it's a bit difficult to feel it with your own hands. But if we were physically together, we could place hands on each other's shoulder blades to feel that. You want your shoulder blades to move away from the spine, a little bit back as you inhale, and then gently towards. So you can do this movement with your hands like this if you wish, just to sense what's happening in your back. So there is a sense of expansion as you inhale, and a gentle contraction so that the whole body starts to breathe. I sometimes talk about pets as the best breathing teachers. If you have a cat or dog, watch them breathe. It's amazing. The whole body is moving. Great. And then exhale and release. And here we are on the other side. All right, 6 o'clock. What happened to the time? So hello and welcome again. So if some of you have things to do that you have to go, please do so. If you have time to hang out with us for a bit, then do so. If you want to speak, you have to unmute yourself. If you want to put your video, always lovely to see your beautiful faces. Feel free to do that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine by me. So here we are. So any questions on what we've done today?
Louisa, I don't have a question, but I wanted to know, are you going to continue classes online or not? Because I think this is our last one.
This is our last one, indeed. So this is the question I was going to pose to you. What would you like? What would you like? So we're moving into July. I know it's a busy time it gets busier. You know, our lives generally gets busier in summer with all the fun that we want to do. Now, hopefully, Qigong by now, it's part of that fun for you too, because it's a really a practice that can be incorporated very easily into, 10 minutes slots in your day, 5 minutes tea breaks and what have you. But of course, we're meeting here for an hour. It's a big chunk of the day. So